Hello students, in this video I am going to explain you about how to draw the shear force and bending moment diagram for a simply supported beam which is carrying a uniformly varying load of intensity W Newton per meter varying from 0 till W over the entire span L. Now here I have considered a simply supported beam capital AB. At A there is a hinge and at B there is a roller on which there is a triangular loading, a uniformly varying load, which is varying from 0 newtons to W Newton per meter. Now, the first step what we need to do here is we have to consider the entire system which is in the state of equilibrium and determine the support reactions. Now, as there are no horizontal forces on the beam, I am not considering any horizontal reaction at A. There will be only vertical reaction. Let us call that one as reaction RA. And at B, let us take the reaction as reaction RB. Now, when you consider anything in the state of static equilibrium, it has to satisfy three conditions of equilibrium. The first one is sigma Fx equal to 0. As there are no horizontal forces acting on the beam, just we are neglecting this equation. Next, sigma Fy is equal to 0. Algebraic sum of all the forces and their components acting in the vertical direction equal to 0. As you can see, we have plus Ra plus Rb minus Ra and Rb both are acting in the upward direction. Upward forces I am taking them as positive, and this triangular load is acting in the downward direction, should be taken as negative, minus magnitude of load or intensity of load is the area of the loading diagram, half into length multiplied by W. So this is equal to 0. Ra plus Rb is equal to W into L divided by 2. Let us call this one as the first equation. Next, I would like to take moment at point A. I am considering point A as the moment center, and I will take moment at point A. Sigma moment taken at point A is equal to 0. Now from this one we get reaction RB is rotating in the anti-clockwise direction. So my sign convention for movement is anti-clockwise direction should be taken as positive, clockwise movement is negative. So this is plus RB. RB is located exactly at distance of L. RB multiplied by L, and triangular load is rotating in the clockwise direction. It is creating a clockwise rotational effect. Clockwise rotational effect should be taken as negative, minus load is half multiplied by W multiplied by L, and it will be acting exactly at a distance of 2/3 of L. So over here, right, suppose this WL divided by 2 will be acting over here, and it is located exactly at distance of 2/3 of L. As we all know that for a triangle, exactly the centroidal, what we say, the distance from the apex or the sharp end will be at a distance of 2/3 of the total distance. So I'm taking this one as 2/3 of L, 2/3 of L. So I can write this one as RB multiplied by L is, this is equal to 0, is equal to, this 2 gets cancelled here, we get WL square divided by 3. Now L gets cancelled here, we get RB is equal to WL divided by 3. RB is equal to WL divided by 3. Now we have an equation here, RA plus RB is equal to WL divided by 2. Substituting RB in equation number 1, we get RA is equal to WL divided by 2 minus WL divided by 3. So WL divided by 2 minus WL divided by 3, we get reaction RA, which is equal to W multiplied by L divided by 6. WL divided by 6. So RA is W into L divided by 6. RB is WL divided by 3. We got two reactions over here. Okay, so to draw the shear force and bending moment diagram, what we need to do here is we need to take a section in between A and B. So for that thing, I'm going to draw the simply supported beam once again. Right, as you can see, I have drawn the simply supported beam once again. Now, what I'm going to do here is to develop the shear force and bending moment diagram. First, let me take a section in between A and B. Let us call this one as A, B, and we know the total span as L. I'm taking a section in between A and B. So it will be convenient for me to take the section from left side, because there is 0 point over here and it will be easier for me to calculate the load. So I'm just considering this one as X. Okay. Now, if I consider the entire load, the triangle load, whatever the triangle load you're seeing here, for L we have a capital W as the load. Now, if I consider the smaller triangle exactly up to section X, if at all I take this one as X, then it will be equal to Wx by L. So this will be equal to Wx multiplied by L. For L, it is W. For X, how much will it be? It will be equal to W into X divided by L. So that's what I'm showing over here. That means this particular load intensity, right, exactly at a distance of X over the section, it will be equal to W into X divided by L. Okay. Now, let me consider shear force at any section X and X. So shear force will be equal to the algebraic sum of vertical forces, unbalanced vertical forces which are acting towards left or right side of the section. Now, if I consider the unbalanced forces, vertical forces which are acting towards the left side of the section. Now I am considering left side of the section. This time I am considering left side of the section. Left side of the section we have two forces here. We have WL by 6 and this UVL. Now the force which is acting in the upward direction should be taken as positive, and the forces which are acting in the downward direction towards left side should be taken as negative. So this is plus W into L divided by 6 minus the load. It is half multiplied by X multiplied by Wx divided by L. So I can write this one as WL by 6 minus Wx square by 2 times L. So shear force at any distance X is equal to 0. That means shear force at point A, it will be equal to WL divided by 6 minus 0. So that is shear force at point A, it is equal to W into L divided by 6. WL divided by 6. So we got shear force at point A, it is a positive plus WL divided by 6. Now let us go with shear force at a distance of X is equal to L. That means shear force at point B. So that will be equal to WL divided by 6 minus W multiplied by X. In place of X I am substituting L. L square divided by 2L. So this will be WL by 6 minus WL by 2. WL by 6 minus WL divided by 2. So obviously you will get the same thing as 4WL divided by 12, which is WL by 3. So shear force at any distance X is equal to L. That means shear force at B will be equal to WL divided by 3. So the only one thing you have to remember here, as you can see, shear force at A is equal to WL by 6, which is the support reaction. Shear force at B is WL by 3, which is nothing but the support reaction at point B. Now let us generate the bending moment equation. Bending moment at any section XX will be equal to load multiplied by perpendicular distance. As there are two forces which are acting towards the left side of the section. The first force WL by 6 is trying to bend the beam in the upward direction, which will create a positive bending moment. So for this load it will be positive moment, and for the triangle load it will be negative moment. So this is plus WL by 6 acting at a distance of X minus the load intensity. So that will be half into X multiplied by Wx divided by L. So this is the load actually, multiplied by at what distance will it be acting? From here till here I can take this thing as 2/3 of X. 2/3 of X. So W into L into X divided by 6 minus 1 by 2. So this 2 gets cancelled over here. I can write W into X cube, right? So this will be Wx cube divided by 3 times L. Wx cube divided by 3 times L. Okay. So here you can see Wx cube divided by 3 times L. So it is X cube. So the variation will be cubic parabola. Okay, now let us calculate bending moment at a distance of X is equal to 0. That means bending moment at point A. So it will be equal to 0. Now bending moment at a distance of X is equal to L. So this will be W L multiplied by L divided by 6 minus W into L cube divided by 3L. So this gets cancelled. So we have WL square divided by 6 minus WL square divided by 3. So obviously this will be equal to WL square divided by 6. So see, at B we are not getting the value as 0. Actually we have obtained this thing as WL square divided by 6. This will be possible when there is no WL divided by 3 over here. We'll get WL square divided by 6. But actually we need to consider WL by 3. Now when we consider WL by 3 again, right? So WL minus WL divided by 3 multiplied by this total distance L. So obviously minus WL square divided by 3, you'll get this particular thing as 0. So I'm also including this WL by 3. WL divided by 3 multiplied by X. Here it is X. So at a distance of X is equal to L, you'll get this value as 0. Bending moment at a distance of X is equal to L will be 0. Now to draw the shear force diagram, just I'm drawing a line which is called as a baseline, and shear force at a distance of X is equal to 0. That means shear force at point A, we got this thing as WL by 6, and shear force at point B is WL divided by 3. Actually this has to be negative. This will be negative. WL by 6 minus WL divided by 2. Right, so 2WL minus 4W, 6WL. This will be minus 4WL divided by 12 is minus WL divided by 3. Now this is negative. So I'm marking negative WL divided by 3 over here, minus WL by 3 at point B, and mark WL divided by 6 at point A. And you have to see the variation over here. See, as we have a square, right, which is being shown over here, the variation will be parabolic. So it will be like this. It will be like this. It is a parabola. Now this is negative and this one should be positive. Similarly, when we go with the bending moment diagram at point A and point B both will be equal to 0. But exactly at this particular point you'll get the maximum bending moment. You can calculate the maximum bending moment by substituting shear force is equal to 0, and it will be exactly at a distance of 1/3 from this particular point B. So it will be a cubic parabola. So obviously it looks like this. So it is a cubic parabola. Why is it a cubic parabola? Because we have a cube right equation over here. You'll get a cubic parabola. So this will be a positive bending moment. Right. That's it. Thank you very much.